welcome back. It's Josh with the Financial Advisor Car Guy. So today I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the Challenger. I know I unveiled it last week, but since then I spent some time in the hospital. Actually had my gallbladder out, kind of an emergency surgery, and I didn't get as much done to the car as quickly as I had hoped. So I want to go ahead and walk you around what I've done and then kind of talk about what I've got planned. I already have a pile of parts ready to go on this thing, but the doctor tells me I can't turn a wrench for 4 weeks. So some of this stuff is just gonna have to wait. So we'll just start going around and talking. Here we go. Okay, so from this angle, you can actually see 5 different things that have been updated to the car since the last video. The first is probably really obvious. Actually, all 4 are pretty obvious, and 5. The wheels, right? I had mentioned in the first video that these wheels look like they had, they were a black factory wheel or a gunmetal colored wheel, but the front one had some wheel rash and was scraped a little bit. So what I ended up doing was just stripping them and buying wheel paint, painted them, and I'm really pleased with the results. I think that the silver on the gray really pops. I think it looks a lot better than a black on black. I mean, this thing was so murdered out, it was just almost sickening to me. I like the look, but the lines of the car create such a, I don't even know. It all just kind of blended together and I wasn't really liking the flow. The next thing you'll see I did was put a chrome fuel cap on there. This is an OEM one, it is what it is. It's just kind of the same as what was on there. But the prior owner had spray painted the last one black, and that's fine. Again, he was kind of going for that all blacked out look. And while it looked okay, I really wanted the accent. And so I went with the chrome fuel door, and I'm very pleased with that. I did go with the SRT, or I want to say it's even the Hellcat with this little dip here in the middle, but the rear spoiler. And that was a super easy deal. Again, sorry, the car is really dirty. I can't wash it and there's bird poop and stuff. Can't turn a wrench, can't lift a hose, can't do any of those things for several weeks while I heal. But the spoiler was great because I was able to order one online. It was already factory color matched and it was under $100. So that was kind of the deal of the century. And then the taillights is another thing you're gonna notice. The taillights on the car were the OEM blacked out stock ones. The guy had tinted them, and again, while they looked really good to somebody, they weren't really my cup of tea. And so let me turn these babies on and you can see what they look like. So hang on here. Okay, so this is what they look like illuminated, and I just dig that. I think that looks so sweet. The LED rings around both sides are kind of more the newer style off of the, I guess it's the 15s through the 21s. But it has the same look when they're turned off as the standard 08 to 14. Again, this being a 14. So it does have that factory look, but it does have some aftermarket flair, which again, I'm really, really pleased with. I didn't step on the brakes, but it does have LED brake lights. You can see the kind of the line of them right in there and on both sides. So that's cool. And then the center is obviously the reverse and reflectors. So very cool. The 5th thing that I've done to the car, I'm not exactly pleased with, and it needs to be fixed and remedied. But if you remember, I'd said that the guy had straight piped it. And really what he had done is just cut the exhaust off under the cabin. He gave me the factory parts. And so I went to an exhaust shop here in town and they put the car up on their lift, re-welded the exhaust back on, and this is the result. So obviously you're noticing the same thing I did. The left tip sticks out like 2 inches and is actually angled down a little bit. The right tip is actually right where it should be. Maybe a hair off-centered, but it looks okay. This one over here is just kind of dangling. So I'm a little bit annoyed with that. The guy didn't charge me much. He literally charged me his labor cost for how long it took for him to put it up on the rack and then just weld the thing back together. That was all he did. He didn't lengthen it, he didn't shorten it, obviously. He didn't do anything different to the car. He just literally did what I asked. And while I can't really be mad about that, I'm kind of embarrassed for him because I feel like that's not a good representation of work. You know, I don't know. I just have a hard time. Customer service is a big part of my life. And if I were going to do some work for somebody and I knew it was going to look like this, I probably would have called and said, hey, listen, for an extra 20 bucks, I can shorten it and fix it and tweak it to make it look perfect. Or for what I quoted you, I'm just going to bolt it back together and weld it and we'll call it good. To me, it would have been worth the extra money to have it fixed correctly, because now I'm driving around looking all ghetto. I want to get that fixed immediately. But nonetheless, the exhaust is back on the car. It's a little bit quieter. There still are no mufflers. It is just through the resonators and then out the tips, but at least it dumps out behind the car instead of underneath. So that's a lot better. Okay, so what else do I have planned for the car? So parts-wise, what I've got ready to go on are lowering springs front and back. They should drop the car about 1.5 inches all the way around, which I'm really excited about. I think that might actually be too low in the front, so I'm gonna play that by ear. I saw where one guy online dropped just the back of his car, and just by doing so, the front came down about 1/2 inch. That might be all I need, so I'm gonna start with the back and see what it looks like, and then do the front afterwards. But again, I can't lift a wrench for a couple of weeks, so that's not happening anytime real soon. The other things that I have for it are the Hellcat or Scat Pack or any of those Red-Eye wide body flares. I found a set of those, so I went ahead and ordered them. I did get some color factory match paint, so I'm gonna paint those flares and then bolt those on. I bought wheel spacers to bring the wheels out a little bit to help with the flares. I have brand new headlights ready to go in. They've got the halos, so they look like the 15 through the 21s, which should update the front end of the car. And while I do that, I am gonna go ahead and take the entire front clip off, try to get all the panels straightened out and ready to go and bolt them back on, hopefully so that things close and line up a little better and don't look all saggy like they are right now. I might have to modify my lower front lip, but if I do, you know, so be it. That'll be okay. I'm just not sure that they're gonna clear the flares, so I'll kind of have to maneuver and manipulate those to work. Other than that, I've got racing stripes coming. They're gonna be kind of an electric blue color on the black. I think that'll look really nice. And then the last thing is not so much a modification to the car, but you can actually see a couple right here in my roof. But a dent puller. I ordered a dent puller, and I don't have to, you know, worry about scratching the paint or ruining or drilling or doing any of those things. But you use like a hot glue, and then you use a puller and pull the dent right out. And it's supposed to be pretty slick, supposed to work pretty easily. So I have one of those that I'm gonna pull all the dents, but again, can't lift a wrench or any of those, I can't turn a wrench or do any of those things. So they're gonna be on hold for now. Otherwise, I'm really enjoying the car. It drives super nice. I'm really pleased with it. Hopefully I have something more to report back sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, I need to heal up. I'm gonna keep this video real short. Hopefully I can dive in a little deeper and share some more news with you guys moving forward. But you know, in the meantime, please watch my other videos. Please share them, like, subscribe, and as always, may every investment you make be a good one. Till next time.